Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope we're doing great today. Happy Saturday. Got a big college football slate today, guys, so be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my betting links in the description below to get in on the action. Go ahead, turn on those notification bells. And yeah, we'll hop in it. Big slate today, guys. Also, going to be going live at 11 a.m., an hour before kickoff. So tune into the live. I'll be going over all the public money and public betting, so you don't want to miss that. And yeah, we'll hop in it. A lot of good matchups today. Starting with Florida State versus Wake Forest. Florida State opening up as a 20.5 point road favorite with the over-under at 52.5. FSU coming into this matchup 7-0, one of the last few unbeaten teams. Wake Forest 4-3. Head-to-head FSU is 7-3. Wake Forest is 5-4-1 covering the spread. The overs hit in 2 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Johnny Wilson questionable. We'll see if he does play. Their big wide receiver for FSU. FSU coming off an 18-point Duke win. Big win for FSU. Wake Forest coming off a Pitt win, snapping their 3-game losing streak they were on. But yeah, FSU. I just think they're going to be too much for this Wake Forest team. They're 7-1 covering on the road. Too much firepower. Good defense. Give me Florida State minus 20.5 and throw them in your money line parlays today. Next matchup, we got Indiana versus Penn State. Penn State opening up as a 31-point home favorite with the over-under at 45.5. Indiana coming into this matchup 2-5. Penn State 6-1. Head-to-head, Penn State is 8-2. 5-5 covering the spread. The overs hit in 6 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Indiana on a 3-game losing streak. Just not a good season so far, coming off a Rutgers loss. And, their only good team they've played really this season is Michigan, losing 52-7. Penn State coming off that tough 8-point Ohio State loss. They're definitely looking to rebound here, get back on track. Indiana 0-11 on the road against Penn State. 2-18 against Penn State, where they just haven't been able to win here. I think Penn State gets a big win today at home, and I'll take Penn State minus 31. Throw them in your money line parlays as well. Next matchup, we've got Oklahoma versus Kansas. Oklahoma opening up as an 8.5 point road favorite with the over-under at 67. Oklahoma coming into this matchup 7-0. Kansas 5-2. Head-to-head, Oklahoma's 10-0. 4-6 covering the spread. The over is hit 5 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Oklahoma coming off a 2-point UCF win. Close game for Oklahoma, but they were able to sneak out with the win. Kansas coming off an Oklahoma State loss. And no Jalen Daniels, so it's going to be Jason being at quarterback. It's kind of the theme we've been seeing so far this season with Kansas. And yeah, Oklahoma just been dominant against Kansas. 9-0 on the road against Kansas. 7-1 covering in their last 8. I like Oklahoma in this matchup here. I just think the offense and defense are going to be better. And with Jalen Daniels not out there, he's definitely a much better quarterback than Bean. But yeah, I'm going to take Oklahoma minus 8.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we've got BYU versus Texas. Texas opening up as a 20-point home favorite with the over-under at 49.5. BYU coming into this matchup 5-2. Texas 6-1. Head-to-head, BYU's 2-1. 3-0 covering the spread. The overs just 1-1 in the last 3 head-to-head meetings. No Quinn Ewers, he's out for a while, so it's going to be Malik Murphy at quarterback, who fell down last week. Didn't look too bad. BYU coming off a Texas Tech win. Texas coming off a very close Houston win. Game where their defense came through in the end. And I think it's going to be another game where they're going to need their defense. They are 7-1 at home. So at home, I think it's going to be tough. On the road for BYU. Yeah, I like Texas with a big win at home. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. They don't really need Malik Murphy to do anything crazy. Run the ball, play defense. I think they're going to get stops on this BYU team, which will be probably the biggest test BYU, or the best team BYU's played all season here. And Yeah, give me Texas -20 and money line at home. Next matchup, we've got Duke versus Louisville. Louisville opening up as a 6-point home favorite with the over-under at 45.5. Duke coming into this matchup 5-2. Louisville 6-1. Head-to-head, Louisville is 3-0. 2-1 covering the spread. The over is just 1-1 in the last two head-to-head meetings here. FSU coming off that tough loss against Duke. Louisville coming off a bad loss against Pittsburgh. They also are coming off their bye week as well. Riley Leonard, the quarterback for Duke, is questionable, so we'll see if he plays or not. Played last game, but then left in like the third quarter or so against FSU. This is a very good FSU team, and a very good Duke team, and Louisville. Just that bad Pittsburgh loss, and they had a great start to the season, and that loss was very questionable, because it was a statement game to see if they were for real, and they just lost to a bad Pitt team. I like Duke here. I just think this Duke defense is going to be able to get stops here. The Cardinals offense, the quarterback Plummer, he throws picks, and I'm gonna buy a point here, and I'm gonna take Duke +7 on the road. Even if they don't have their quarterback, they're gonna be able to run the ball and play good D, and I'm gonna take Duke +7 on the road. Next matchup, we got Georgia versus Florida. Georgia opening up as a 14-point road favorite with the over-under at 49. Georgia coming into this matchup 7-0. Florida 5-2. Head-to-head, Georgia is 6-4. 4-5-1 covering the spread. The over's hit in 5 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. The big injury, no Brock Bowers, that definitely hurts. The number one, probably the best player on the team is out, which is not good. Florida missing a couple of tight ends and receivers, so they're missing some offensive players. Georgia coming off that 17-point Vanderbilt win, one of the last few unbeaten teams left in college football. Florida on a 2-game winning streak, coming off a South Carolina 2-point win. Georgia, on a 10-game winning streak, 14-0 against the SEC, 17-0 against the East Division here. Going to be tough for Florida. I think they haven't looked that good. They only have the 2 losses, but up against good teams, they've lost against Utah and Kentucky. They got killed against good talent, and even the question is with Brock Bowers, how are they going to look? The number one weapon out. I still think they're going to be fine. I really do. Last year, we saw Georgia with a 22-point win. I still think Georgia's defense and offense will find a way and be pretty balanced, and other guys will step up. And we've just seen Florida play very bad against good teams this season. I'll buy a 0.5 point, and I'm going to take Georgia -13.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got a big matchup here. We got Oregon versus Utah. Oregon opening up as a 6.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 47. Oregon coming into this matchup 6-1. Utah also 6-1. Head-to-head, Oregon is 6-4. 5-5 covering the spread. The over's hit in 6 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. I don't see any major injuries here. Oregon coming off a big Washington State win. Utah on a 2-game winning streak, coming off a huge USC win. And Utah playing very good football here. Very underrated, I'd say. Even as a top 10 ranked team, they're very underrated. 18-0 at home. It's tough to win in Utah here. This is going to be a battle. They're 17-3 against the Pac-12. And this is a monster battle here. And I think I'm going to take Utah by a point. I think we're going to get a close one here. And this is going to be a defensive battle. Maybe a lower scoring game. But I think I'm going to take a shot with Utah +7.5 at home here. Next matchup, we got Pittsburgh versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame opening up as a 20.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 45. Pittsburgh coming into this matchup 2-5. Notre Dame 6-2. Head-to-head, Notre Dame is 7-3. 4-5-1 covering the spread. The over's hit in 5 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Pittsburgh coming off a Wake Forest loss. I mean, they've just been horrible all season long. Got that big upset win against Louisville. They've been very bad. Notre Dame coming off a monster win against USC 48-20. And they're coming off their bye week too. It's a good spot for Notre Dame at home, where they're 11-1 against the ACC, 6-2-1 covering the spread. I think this will be a big home game for Notre Dame against a struggling Pittsburgh team, and I'll take Notre Dame minus 20.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, we've got Tulane versus Rice. Tulane opening up as a 10.5 point road favorite with the over-under at 55. Tulane coming into this matchup 6-1. Rice 4-3. Head-to-head, Rice is 7-3. 4-6 covering the spread. The over sit in 5 out of the last 9 head-to-head meetings. Tulane playing great. I mean, back in the rankings, coming off a North Texas win. I mean, they've looked very good this season. Rice coming off a big Tulsa win, 42-10. This is a very good Tulane team here. 9-0 covering on the road. Playing good football here. And I think it's a good spot for Tulane. And I'm going to take Tulane minus 10.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got USC versus California. USC opening up as a 10-point road favorite with the over-under at 67. USC coming into this matchup 6-2. Cal 3-4. Head-to-head, USC is 8-2. 5-5 covering the spread. The overs hit in 3 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. USC coming off back-to-back losses, coming off a tough Notre Dame and Utah loss. Cal coming off a 2-game losing streak as well. Got to be a get-right game for USC. Back-to-back losses here. I think Caleb Williams has a big game. They're 16-2 against Cal. And going to buy a 0.5 point. And I'm going to take USC minus 9.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Air Force versus Colorado State. Air Force opening up as a 14-point road favorite with the over-under at 46. Air Force coming into this matchup 7-0. Colorado State 3-4. Head-to-head, Air Force is 8-2. 5-5 covering the spread. The overs hit in 6 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. And yeah, who would have thought Air Force would be 7-0? What a season they're having, coming off a big Navy win. Colorado State coming off a UNLV loss. And loving what I'm seeing from Air Force. They're 6-0 against Colorado State. 7-0 against the Mountain West here. I mean, man, what a season they're having. And, able to run the ball. They've been able to throw the ball a little bit as well and been pretty productive doing that. But, I just think this Air Force team is pretty complete offensively, and they have a pretty good defense as well. And, we're going to ride this Air Force train. I'm going to buy a 0.5 point. Give me Air Force minus 13.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Tennessee versus Kentucky. Tennessee opening up as a 4-point road favorite with the over-under at 50. Both teams coming into this matchup 5-2. Monster battle in the SEC here. Head-to-head, Tennessee's 8-2. 8-2 covering the spread. The overs hit in 5 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Don't see any major injuries. Tennessee coming off a 14-point loss against Bama. Kentucky coming off 2 losses, coming off a Missouri and Georgia loss. Rough back-to-back weeks for Kentucky here. A chance to get back into the swing of things here. Tennessee's been very good against Kentucky. 7-1 covering on the road against Kentucky. 17-3 against Kentucky. I think it's going to be a close game here. Getting 4 points at home. I really think it's going to be a battle. I know Tennessee's been pretty dominant here, but, I always see this. You catch a team coming off a Bama or Georgia loss. A lot of players are banged up here. I always see that as an opportunity for them to take a loss and be weaker there. And I think I'm going to take Kentucky plus 4 at home. Next matchup, we got Washington versus Stanford. Washington opening up as a 28-point road favorite with the over-under at 61. Washington coming into this matchup 7-0. Stanford 2-5. Head-to-head, Stanford is 6-4. 5-5 covering the spread. The over's hit in 5 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Washington coming off a 15-7 win against Arizona State. That was just a... don't even know what that game was. I mean, they could not score. They turned it over a lot. It was just one of those weird games that they were able to luckily sneak out with a win. And this is a very bad Stanford team. Coming off a bad UCLA loss 42-7 against the good teams. Lost 42-6 against Oregon. 56-10 against USC. Any good team they've played, they've gotten murdered. I think it's a big get-right game for Washington, coming off that horrible performance last week. Gonna buy a half a point. Give me Washington minus 27.5 and throw them in your moneyline parlays on the road. Next matchup, we got Colorado versus UCLA. UCLA opening up as a 15.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 61. Colorado coming into this matchup 4-3. UCLA 5-2. Head-to-head, UCLA is 7-3. 4-6 covering the spread. The overs hit in 6 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Colorado, coming off that tough Stanford loss. They are coming off a bye, so that was a horrible loss they had against Stanford. UCLA coming off a big Stanford win. Yeah, this UCLA beat Stanford pretty bad. And another week, you're getting Colorado as a big underdog. They look good against Stanford, but then that defense really didn't show up. This is a lot of points. We've seen UCLA, those 2 losses to Utah and Oregon State. They've lost to 2 good teams. Colorado's just a mid-tier team. But I just think it's a lot of points. I think Colorado will come out after the bye week and play fine. I don't know. 15.5. I think it's a good spread for them. I'm going to take a shot with Colorado plus 15.5 on the road in this one. I think they can cover. Next matchup, we got Ohio State versus Wisconsin. Ohio State opening up as a 14.5 point road favorite with the over-under at 45.5. Ohio State coming into this matchup 7-0. Wisconsin 5-2. Head-to-head, Ohio State's 9-1. 7-3 covering the spread. The overs hit in 5 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Ohio State coming off a big Penn State win 20-12. Wisconsin coming off an Illinois win 25-21. Ohio State 9-0 against Wisconsin, where they've been dominant. They're 5-0 on the road right now. It's going to be tough for Wisconsin. I mean, this offense really does struggle. And up against a very good Ohio State team, I'm going to buy a half a point. I'm going to buy a full point. Give me Ohio State minus 13.5 and money line on the road. All right, next matchup, we've got Vanderbilt versus Ole Miss. Ole Miss opening up as a 24.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 63. Vanderbilt coming into this matchup 2-6. Ole Miss 6-1. Head-to-head, Ole Miss 8-2. 6-4 covering the spread. The overs hit in 5 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Vanderbilt on a 6-game losing streak. It's just been very bad for Vanderbilt. I mean, they don't look very good at all here, coming off a Georgia loss. And when you get these teams coming off a Georgia and Bama loss, they tend to not play very good here. Ole Miss on a 3-game winning streak. They're playing good right now. They're 4-1 at home against Vanderbilt. 18-2 at home, where they've been pretty dominant. Yeah. Gonna roll with Ole Miss minus 24.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got North Carolina versus Georgia Tech. North Carolina opening up as an 11.5 point road favorite with the over-under at 65. North Carolina coming into this matchup 6-1. Georgia Tech 3-4. Head-to-head, Georgia Tech is 6-4. 6-4 covering the spread. The overs hit in 7 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. UNC coming off of just a horrible Virginia loss against one of the worst teams in college football. This was unacceptable, honestly. Georgia Tech coming off a Boston College loss. That got to be a big get-right game for North Carolina on the road here. I think they get it done and bounce back. Give me UNC minus 11.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Old Dominion versus James Madison. James Madison opening up as a 20.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 49. Old Dominion 4-3. James Madison 7-0, breaking into the top 25. Good year for James Madison so far. Head-to-head, these teams have only played once. James Madison winning that matchup 37-3. And yeah, very good James Madison squad here. Old Dominion on a 2-game winning streak. James Madison coming off a Marshall win. What a season they are having. And I'm rolling with James Madison. They're 5-0 at home, 7-0 against the Sun Belt. They're 5-0 covering the spread here up against a not so great Old Dominion team. And yeah, give me James Madison minus 20.5 and money line at home. In the last matchup, we got Oregon State versus Arizona. Oregon State opening up as a 3-point road favorite with the over-under at 56.5. Oregon State coming into this matchup 6-1. Arizona 4-3. Head-to-head, Oregon State is 6-4. 6-3-1 covering the spread. The over sitting 6 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. The Arizona quarterback is questionable. So we'll see if he plays or not. Oregon State coming off a big UCLA win. They're on a 3-game winning streak. Arizona coming off a huge Washington State win here. You know, they've upset some teams this year. They beat Washington State. They gave Washington a heck of a game. Could have beat Washington State. But this is a very good offense and defense on Oregon State's side. They're 6-1-1 covering on the road against Arizona. And I like Oregon State here. I'm going to buy 0.5 point. Give me Oregon State minus 2.5 and money line on the road. That's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Saturday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Sunday. Have a good one.